Forgotten Realms Edition 3.5 Sourge Maiden. Sourge Maidens are warrior priestess of Leviatar, dedicated to pain and anguish. They have perfected the art of torture, both physical and mental, and they find their own spiritual satisfaction by tormenting anyone they can. The Sourge, Leviatar's favorite weapon, is an implement of war and persecution for all Sourge Maidens. Clerics and cleric fighters who are initiated into the inner circle of Leviatar's followers are eligible to become Sourge Maidens. Few others have the demeanor and talent to serve in such a fashion. Sourge Maidens are the frontline combatants within temples dedicated to Leviatar. They are responsible for fetching prisoners, defending high-ranking priestesses, and inflicting painful punishment on offenders. Though Sourge Maidens typically work in groups with one another, they can and do undertake solitary quests. These servants of Leviatar can be found in the company of adventurers, so long as those adventurers are not squeamish and have the moral latitude to accept a sadist in their midst. To become a Sourge Maiden, the character must be female, lawful evil, lawful neutral, or neutral evil. They have a base attack bonus of +4, and their skills are +4 ranks of hit, and their skills are +4 ranks of healing and using a rope, then +8 ranks for intimidation. Their feats are Initiate of Leviatar, and they are an exotic and they have an exotic weapons proficiency for Sourge. Their patron deity is Leviatar. The Sourge Maiden's class skills and key abilities that go with each feat are Bluff, which affects Charisma, Concentration, which affects their Constitution, Craft, that affects their Intelligence, Healing, affecting their Wisdom, Intimidation, affecting their Charisma again. They also have the knowledge in Religion, which affects their Intelligence. Their profession affects their Wisdom. They have Spellcraft, that again affects their Intelligence, and they can use Rope, which affects their Dexterity. Sourge Maidens gain 2 skill points as an intelligent modifier at each level. They gain no weapon or armor proficiencies, but at each odd number level, a Sourge Maiden gains new spells per day, and spells known if applicable. As if she had also gained a level in a divine spellcasting class, which she belonged before adding the prestige class level. She does not, however, gain any other benefit of character of that class would have gained. She would not, however, gain any other benefit a character of that class would have gained. Improved chance of turning or destroying undead, metamagic, or item creation feats, and so on. If she had more than one divine spellcasting class before becoming a Sourge Maiden, she must decide to which class to add each level for the purpose of determining spells per day and spells known. A Sourge Maiden receives weapon focus. Sourge, as a bonus feat. At second level and above, the Scourge Maiden can fill her enemies with fear and doubt. This ability is usable 3 times per day and duplicates the effects of the Bane spell with a save DC equal to 11 plus the Scourge Maiden's Charisma modifier. The caster level is equal to her divine spellcaster level. At third level, Scourge Maidens can evoke Great Sadness. 3 times per day, the Scourge Maiden can use Crushing Despair with a save DC equal to 14, plus the Scourge Maiden's Charisma modifier. The caster level is equal to her divine spellcaster level. Beginning at 4th level, a Scourge Maiden can stun an opponent with a blow from her Scourge. She must declare that she is using this ability before she makes her attack roll. Thus, a failed attack roll ruins the attempt. This ability forces a foe damaged by the Scourge Maiden's attack to make a Fortitude saving throw DC 10 plus half the Scourge Maiden's character level and the Maiden's Wisdom modifier. In addition to dealing damage normally, an opponent who fails this saving throw is stunned for 1 round until just before the Scourge Maiden's next action. A stunned character can't act, loses any dexterity bonus to AC, and takes a -2 penalty to AC. A Scourge Maiden can attack a stunning attack once. A Scourge Maiden can attempt a stunning attack once per day for every Scourge Maiden level she has attained, and no more than 1 per round. Constructs, oozes, plants, undead, incorporeal creatures, and creatures immune to critical hits cannot be stunned. At 5th level, the Scourge Maiden can cause great pain with her Scourge attacks. She can spend 1 of her Stunning Strike daily uses to subject the target of her Scourge to such debilitating pain that he is nauseated for 2 rounds. A successful Fortitude save DC as Stunning Strike negates the effect. Creatures immune to stunning attacks are also immune to this ability. At 6th level, the Scourge Maiden can cause crippling pain with her Scourge attacks. She can spend 1 of her Stunning Strike daily uses to subject the target to stunning, punishing pain that he immediately drops prone and is dazed by the agony for 1d4 rounds. Being prone means the victim gains a +4 bonus to armor class against ranged attacks, but takes a -4 penalty to armor class against melee attacks. A successful Fortitude save DC as Stunning Strike negates the effect. Creatures immune to stunning attacks are also immune to this ability. Dambrith is a matriarchal society ruled by a queen who also serves as the high priestess of the Temple of Leviatar. The queen selects Krenti nobles to fill the other posts within the national government, including but not limited to the Honglith, which is judges, the commanders of the military, and the senior priestess of Leviatar's temples in other cities. The current queen of Dambrith is Hassifer Hazam Cree, the female half-drow, wizard 12, cleric 4 of Leviathar, who, in defiance of custom, was a powerful wizard rather than a high cleric of Leviathar when she took the throne. Her selection came as a surprise to her subjects, who fully accepted her mother, Ynandra, lay, female, half-drow rogue, 3, cleric 10 of Leviathar, Sourge Maiden, 3. The so-called pirate queen to name one of Hassifar's sisters as successor, since both were clerics who shared their mother's taste for sailing and pillage. But Ynandra was visibly failing from both old age and wasting disease that baffled Dambrith's clerics. In exchange for the throne, Hassifer offered her mother a spell that would allow her to choose the manner and time of her own death, bind her to the land she had ruled for so long, and weave her name into the undying legend. With the help of a circle of drow sorcerers and the blessing of Leviathar, Hassifer transformed Ynandra and her favorite horse into a spectral guardian and a nightmare, respectively. Now, during the dark of the moon, the people of Dambrith often report seeing a beautiful Krenti rider and her horse, her eyes glowing with red light, moving soundlessly across the countryside. Now called the Nightmare Queen, Ynandra is both loved and feared as she was during life, and the red lights of her eyes have become a common sight in Dambrith. Upon taking the throne, Hassifer was forced to accept the role of High Priestess of Leviathar as well as the crown. Thus, she began clerical training and has proven an apt enough student, though she has to rely heavily on advisors within the Leviathar's church to perform the more important ceremonies until she is proficient enough to do them herself. Thus, her cleric advisors wield considerably more political power than Leviathar's secondary priestess normally would. Krenti duchesses and baroness hold traditional and hereditary seats of power in Dambrith's various cities, ruling the urban centers and the lands around them with the support of the Honglith, and the local temple of Leviathar. Though the Honglith hold trials and pass judgment on criminals, the duchesses and the temple are responsible for enforcing those rulings and meting out the punishments. In Dambrith, governmental processes are tightly intertwined with the tenets of the Maiden of Pain's faith. Each complements and supports the other across many facets of daily life. The three components of the political structure, the nobility, the Honglith, and the temples, function as a set of checks and balance for one another. Because the Queen derives her power from the support of these groups, she takes care to ensure that she has the full backing of at least two of them on any given issue.